Hey everybody, I am here today on this glorious morning with Chef Cassie. Today is actually a very special day because it is my birthday, and I have asked Chef Cassie to talk to us a little bit about plant-based living. So this is about, I've been on this like whole physical health and nutrition kick the last few weeks, and you guys have asked me a lot of questions privately about transitioning your lifestyle. I am picking the people that I know are amazing at what they do and how to fortify themselves in healthy ways. And I thought, what an amazing opportunity to be today with Chef Cassie so she could share a little bit about what she does, how she decided to transition into plant-based living, and to get us kickstarted if that's what we're choosing as a lifestyle for ourselves. So Cass, introduce yourself to our audience, let them know a little bit about yourself, and then let's get this popping.
Alrighty, well first I want to say happy birthday. Always a blessing to see another year and reflect on our past year and what we look like next year. That is my number one tip when it comes to plant-based transitioning and your lifestyle change. We don't call this a diet. This is not a diet. This is all about your life, right? What does that look like in your future?
Yes.
When you think about what that looks like, that is when you start to make the transition. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I remember texting you sometime in November. I had made a decision. My husband had looked at that Netflix documentary, Game Changer, and he was out on business in Chicago, and he sends me this text talking about, that's it, I'm going plant-based. And I'm like, this like steak eating fool is not going no plant-based no time soon. So I was like, I laughed it off. And then he was like, listen, just look at this documentary and see what you think.
Right.
And girl, I saw that documentary, and I've seen a lot of other things of like animals being abused and all this other stuff. And I'm not saying I'm heartless, but it wasn't enough to motivate me. I'm not sure what it was about this documentary that was different, or perhaps that's where I was in my journey. But I remember texting you and being like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm committing to this. I had seen some of the meals that you were making, and I'm like, I need to learn how to live in this lifestyle. And I'm happy to report that I have not touched a piece of meat since November. So I am, I'm not saying that every so often I don't crave little things, but I just push past it. So tell us how that transition was for you. How did you decide that this was an important thing for your health and for your life?
Well, the truth is that my daughter was like, she's like, I'm not eating meat anymore. And we always ate really well. However, like we never really ate out, we don't do the McDonald's thing. We never really, like if we were to eat out, we would have like a Chick-fil-A that was like more of a real food than a processed food.
Okay.
So when my daughter decided that she didn't want to eat meat anymore, I was like, okay, cool, no problem, but we still gonna eat meat, right? But then I saw how, it was going for her. And I said, you know what, maybe we should knock out this meat as well. Not only that, I was suffering from anxiety. Okay. And so that played a major part in my decisions, because what I'm putting in my body, what I'm telling myself, all of these things really come out of the anxiety, right? You know that when we're stressed, it's super hard on our digestive system. When we are super stressed, we suffer, our adrenal glands suffer from that. Not to mention our heart, not to mention, our thyroid, not to mention our brain. So all of these things, when you are super stressed, it really hurts your body. It hurts your cells. And I didn't want to add to it through the way that I was eating.
Ooh, okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
another thing was I didn't want to go on chemical medicine to feel better. That was me.
Right.
You know, I wanted to do a very natural way of healing because that's my son. Say hi.
Hi. I see that he's trying to get something to eat right now. He's like, Mama cooks.
I did make some food, and when I make food, they all come downstairs. Like, so,
Trust me, I got a few of those myself.
So I didn't want to take chemical medicine I wanted to do a very natural healing. And when I started to look into naturally healing, the first place I looked into it was my Bible, because, you know, according to my Bible, according to God, you know, He has made us to heal perfectly.
Right.
Okay? Our body can do that. But that's also a belief, and you have to trust that happens. And once I started to dig into it a little bit more, I learned that the food that we eat plays a major part in what goes on inside.
Wow.
Okay. Not only for, you know, stress, but for our blood sugar,
Right.
for diseases,
Right.
and illnesses, viruses, flus, colds, all of those things.
Exactly.
And once I started to do that, I said, okay, we all got one child down with no meat. Now
Right.
it's time to do the rest of the house. The number one thing that I started with was the no meat, and I took my time. So we just knocked out.
Yeah, what was that process like? Did you just go cold turkey and say, that's it, no more pork, no more beef, no more anything? Were you already, I know a lot of people are like, well, I'm not really a pork eater. I might eat a slice of bacon here and there, but it's not like I'm, you know, I got a pork on the pit all day long. So how was that transition for you?
So for one, we weren't really pork eaters, and we didn't really eat beef that much unless, you know, we were at a barbecue and we had a hamburger, you know what I mean, or something like that. So those things were not big deals. So I honestly just cut the meat out, and I would eat salmon every now and then.
Okay.
Or I would have like shrimp or some kind of piece of fish.
Right.
And then eventually we knocked that out as well.
Wow.
The second thing was knocking out sugar.
Ooh.
That,
So first it was like taking the meat out, and then it was taking like those complex carbs and that sugar out.
And so I do have sugar in here. I have, hold on, let me show you what I have.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bryce. My son he says it's disgusting, but he loves to help.
Oh, that's what I put on. That's the coconut sugar. I love that.
Yeah, the coconut sugar. Plant-based means that you want to eat from the earth.
Yeah.
Okay. Plant-based is fruits, vegetables, legumes. Legumes are super healthy for you, packed with protein. Okay. Those are, you know, your peas, your beans, your nuts. Those are legumes. And that's what you want, you know, that's what you want to eat from. There's a difference between eating whole foods, and there's a difference between eating a plant-based food. Plant-based food does not include any animal ingredients, and, you know, like such as meat, milk, eggs, or honey. A lot of people go, I am plant-based, but they still eat honey. Well, a bee is considered right. So a bee is considered, you know, like, you know, an animal. It's a living thing, but it's not a plant living thing.
Wow.
So they say, oh, I eat, you know, I have honey, but the honey.
Okay, so I may not be 100% plant-based because I did not know that, and I still do. I don't eat a lot. I don't put a lot of honey like in my tea or anything, but every so often, I had no idea that was right. I mean, intuitively that makes sense, of course, but I didn't put two and two together. What, you know, this is why I want to do this in terms of, I mean, you're educating me, I'm sure, and a lot of people about what does plant-based really mean, you know? So, okay, so no honey, so the legumes, and what else would constitute like some foods that will fall under the plant-based umbrella?
So rooted vegetables, you know,
Okay.
your potatoes, your carrots, your beets, rooted vegetables. So anything living. So your herbs. Your herbs are amazing. Like there's so many properties in just the rosemary alone. Like just eating this.
Right.
People don't understand that. What they can get just from eating this. The whole point, you know, in the, you know, not I shouldn't say the whole point, but one of the best parts about being plant-based is it reduces inflammation and mucus in your body.
Yes.
It lowers the blood sugar level in your body. But what I want to encourage is if you go plant-based, do not fill up on breads.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. Because that's an easy, you know, my issue was, and why I didn't fill up on breads was because I also have a gluten allergy on top of that. So I have to be very careful about the type of gluten, or really I shouldn't consume any gluten. Sometimes it kind of gets by because I don't read something very carefully. And then I have to take these supplements that I take to kind of, you know, get my stomach right. But and a probiotic, which I've been doing pretty religiously.
Very good.
So tell us about that, because it is, you know, a lot of people then will go to their pastas. Like I'm gonna have pasta every night then. If I'm, you know, if I'm not gonna eat, if I'm going meatless, or I'm not gonna go, I'm gonna go plant-based, then instead of going to the vegetables and the legumes and the greens, they instead start to use the pasta and these other breads to fill themselves up.
Right. So now I would say in that situation, when you feel like you want to fill yourself up, you want to have a heavier meal, I would say, you know, go for the rice pasta.
Okay.
So go for the rice pasta, and don't look at it as it being a crazy expense, because it really isn't. You know what I mean? And that is what really stops a lot of people from doing it. Listen, I'm a single mother of 3 children. Okay, so
I want you to repeat that, because you know what? I just did a podcast a few days ago with a good friend of mine who is a physical trainer, certified professional physical trainer. And she was talking about that a lot of the excuses that people make is that they don't have the money to, you know, to pay for a personal trainer or whatever. And I hear that a lot of the reasons why people don't want to do plant-based is because it's too expensive. So you're a mom, you're a single mom of 3, and you're still able to do it. So share a little bit about that.
Yes. One of my favorite things on my show, when I shouldn't call it a show, but when I do my videos, I always go, I'm a mom balling on a budget. I am balling on a budget.
Right.
Like, seriously. And one of the things, so like, we're not wasteful. Don't be wasteful. Right. So look at this, you guys. So I have my hamburger dill chips, so it's the pickles, right? But that's not what's in here. What's in here is I was done with my pickles, still had juice left, so I took peppers and I pickled my peppers. And now I have pickled peppers because I don't have any more pickles.
Got it.
I mean, I do now, but at the time,
right,
I didn't. And so we're trying not to be wasteful. Like, you don't want to do that. You want to plan meals. You know, I make that chickpea curry, it costs me $10, and we eat off of that for 2 days.
Oh my goodness. I mean, before we close out, I want you to tell the audience on how to follow you, because the meal preps that you do, the meals that you cook live, I've done them. I think that they're amazing. I want them to, because before we got started, she showed me her Beyond, what is it, meatless Beyond Burger or something. I don't know. Show them what you made, because that thing looked delicious. I want to come through into your house right now and eat it.
My son already got into it.
Oh, that's okay. It's okay. We can look at it happy, and we get it.
Let me show you. How did it taste? It was good? He said it was good. So it was kid approved.
Oh, wow. So
So
tell us what you did, because that looks awesome. Tell us what you did to put that together, that meatloaf together.
okay, it's okay, sweetheart. It's fine. That was what it was there for. I love that they love to eat, right?
Yeah.
What I did was I used, so this is what I really want to stress also. This Beyond Meat meatloaf is actually a treat.
Okay.
What we like to do is stay away from processed food.
Right.
And so Beyond Meat is still processed because it's being,
Yeah. And
right?
high in sodium, which I've started to learn.
Right.
Yeah.
So although it's a very good meat alternative, so when I'm really feeling like I want to have a meatloaf or a hamburger, I will go towards that.
Okay.
But that's not an everyday, every week thing.
Mhm.
Learn how to use your walnuts. So like I stock up on nut, like I have nuts like galore. Stock up on nuts, almonds, walnuts, pumpkins, pumpkin seeds, um, definitely almonds, cashews, all of those things, because you can make, in no time, you can make cheeses, okay? And you can make like a walnut meat
Okay.
with your walnuts.
Okay.
And for one bag for $6.95, I mean, you just need a cup.
Right.
Because you'll be
Right.
adding to it. You'll be adding,
Right.
mushrooms and other vegetables to it, and that makes a really good taco meat. You wouldn't miss it.
Yeah.
But to make the Beyond Meat meatloaf was fairly simple. I used liquid aminos,
Okay.
which I really like. It helps to give a meaty flavor. I used the liquid smoke, and then I also chopped up some fresh herbs, onion, carrots, and mushroom. I sauteed it first, and then I added it to the Beyond Meat with, today I actually used panko breadcrumbs.
Okay.
Okay. And then you add your seasoning to it, you make a patty and ketchup on top, throw it in the oven, 25 minutes, and it's done.
So did you get the crumbles and then you put the crumble together? You put the crumbles together to make the meatloaf?
So they have a it's it really looks like it's packaged like ground beef.
Right.
But it says Beyond Beef.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
But it's crumbled, right? And then so you shape the patty, or not the patty, but the meatloaf shape, and then made it that way.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love it.
And you make roasted potatoes with it, some carrots, and you've got a great meal for your family that's healthy. You know what's in it. And that's the thing that gets me excited. Guys, get excited about your food.
Mm-hmm.
That is what you need to do. I wake up in the morning and I thank God for all that I have. Yeah. And then I'm like, what am I going to eat? I get excited because I'm like, I'm about to have a party inside.
Right. Your body just loves you for it. Isn't it thankful? You're so right about the bloating and about just that feeling of being full. And I used to drag and feel so fatigued before, and that has completely changed. Even like my GI tract, I know that's TMI, but just being regular, just everything. The fact that your body, I remember reading that it takes sometimes up to 3 days for your body to digest beef, right? And I'm like, why would I want to keep putting something in my body that takes 3 days to digest? Right. Maybe it's just not meant for me to eat this stuff, where like within hours I'm digesting anything that is plant-based. So it's such a different way of creating this lifestyle. And like I said, sometimes I don't miss it. Yesterday, the kids were having burritos, and, they had it with meat or whatever, or they had turkey meat. And I just put my quinoa, my beans, plenty of greens in it, tomatoes, some avocado, and I was fine. I'm like, it tastes no different to me. I didn't miss the meat.
Right. And then on top of that, like, you can eat that all day. Like, who says that you can only have a burrito?
Right.
You know,
Right.
and so that's the thing. Listen, I am a lover of Oreo cookies. I do not make like, I don't act like as if, you know, I don't like that stuff. I do. I love Oreo cookies. But I do know that eating those Oreo cookies are not really good for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not the healthiest thing. So when you make a choice to change your life style of eating, you want to feel good about it.
That's right.
Do not dread that. If you're in the process of wanting to do this, but you have a dread inside you, I say don't do it.
Good advice. Okay. Good advice.
Not ready for it.
Not ready.
Because you want to appreciate and you want to feel good about it.
Right. Right.
And that's the point. Because when you start to eat these wonderful foods, your body will understand, because you feel good about it, your body's going to feel good about it.
That's right.
You
That's
know,
right.
so if you're dreading it and stuff, I would say, you know, don't do it just yet. You know,
Yeah.
wait until you have that appreciation of what all this can do for you.
Yeah.
And make it your lifestyle, your live it, not your diet. It's your live it, you're living. You understand? And so you're going to feed yourself these wonderful living foods that are great for you.
Yeah. And you know what? I've started to try different things. Like at first I was drinking almond milk, and then now I'm drinking oatmeal milk, you know, just different things just that, and I don't miss regular milk at all. I was already kind of not feeling it to begin with because it just wasn't, you know, that lactose, that heavy lactose wasn't feeling right in my body. So there are things that you can begin to change in terms of one by one. Those things that you love, but you know, can become good substitutes. So tell us, as we're closing out, where can people follow you? How can they get any information? Do you do any consultation, private consultation? Let's say if I was interested, but I didn't even know where to get started. You know, how can they get in touch with you? How can they follow you? How can they connect with you?
Well, yeah, so I have a company called Cassandra's Living Room, and I know it sounds weird because we're talking about all that goes on in the kitchen, but for us, we break everything down. We sit in our living room and we just build and we live life, right? So this is all about being real about what life is. It's not like this picture that I'm trying to, you know, portray. It is real deal. We are real deal people. So Cassandra's Living Room helps people to do pantry makeovers. We show you how to make certain meals. We discuss with you your goals and what you want in your life, what your vision looks like. And you can follow me on Chef Cassie 18 on Instagram, or at Cassandra L. Williams on Facebook.
Okay.
And so you'll see me there, and you know, my videos they're real videos. My kids are walking around, they're helping me. We're doing it together. We're interacting, and we're just being real people who are doing this plant-based life together. And sometimes I'll tell you, like, I'm a chef, so I have to cook with meat. Some of my kids like meat, and they'll ask me, Mom, can you make chicken?
Right.
And I'll make it. I don't eat it, but, you know, I'll make it. So there are a lot of healthy alternatives. There are a lot of plant-based foods also. But yes, your questions are welcome. If I don't know, I will find out.
Good for
Yeah,
you. So is Cassandra's Living Room, is there a website connected to this, or that's just your personal kind of like company that where they can contact you? Like, I'm trying to think, if they wanted to contact you, should they IM you in one of your social media handles, or what's the best way to get connected to you?
So Cassandra's Living Room is also on Facebook.
Okay.
And so you can connect with me there. All of our information is there, but I am all one, so it's just me.
Gotcha.
So however you want, there's 3 different avenues for you to. I feel like I'm doing karate. There are 3 different avenues for you to go ahead and contact me in regards to any questions you may have, any ideas. I'm always looking for information, also exchanging. It's just great. This world opens up so many avenues.
Right.
You know, I would encourage everyone that is doing a plant-based diet, not diet, anyone who's doing a plant-based living or wants to change, please get active, because that's important as well. Please get enough rest. Please drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
These are the things that help your body to stay functioning, where you're not feeling fatigue and you're not feeling, because you can get like that because you're not eating the right things.
You know what I'm loving is that like you're like the third video or fourth video where I'm talking about this, and each of you who do not know each other have said the same exact thing. So that there is, you know, people don't think that there is a formula to this, but there is a formula. There is a formula, and it's about the commitment to that formula. And we all have our days where we can do it at 100%. Sometimes it's 10%. The goal is to just keep going, you know, not every day is a good day.
Right.
You know, and sometimes I just kill a whole bag of chips or more. And it, you know, and then I'm forgiving of myself for it and try not to derail. And then I just, you know, figure it back out, cleanse my body and keep moving. So,
well, that's another thing too. So if you have those cravings for like chips and stuff, there are ways that you can have those things without it being too salty, you know, doused in oils and stuff like that. I mean, just yesterday I had a cheese grater. There's a piece of the cheese grater on the side that will actually slice these potatoes very thinly so that you can actually make them yourself.
Right.
You can control everything. Listen, everyone has the choice to control what they're eating and what they're thinking and how they're living.
Absolutely.
It is a choice, right? So we have that. And so there are so many ways to change a little bit. I say start little by little. Do your research. Pay attention to your body. Your body will let you know what it likes. Okay? And then also, you know, getting plenty of rest.
Right.
You know, drinking plenty of water. I have water everywhere. Right. Get in the habit of putting water everywhere, in your car, beside your bed. I have like 3 bottles of water beside my bed. And get in the habit of doing certain things for yourself first. It's so important. Right. You know?
Yeah. Well, we are so appreciative of your time. Thank you for these very helpful tips. I'm excited to even take some of these tips myself. I hope, you know, our followers are able to do the same, and they'll get in contact with you if they need to. And Chef Cassie, we love you. And thank you.
Okay.